All right, guys. Welcome back to episode 15 of the Short Corner podcast. We're back with Rid. Want
Hello,
to say hi, Rid?
everyone.
Here with Samir.
Hello.
Oh,
We
my
have
bad.
our guest with us, good friend of mine, is Samir. He's a Chelsea fan, diehard Chelsea fan for a long time. Farzad, you want to say hi?
Hello. Yes. Hello, everyone. Chelsea fan here.
Rid's been gone so long on this podcast that he feels like a guest almost at this point. Hey, Rid?
Yeah, it's been ages. Been busy with real life. Apparently, I have one. But yeah, good to be back. I should be definitely more present in going forward from now. My life is a bit more free now. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about the Champions League draw, mainly the Milan transfer news, Chelsea's expectations in the transfer in their group, and as well as the Ronaldo news at the very end. So yeah, let's kick it off with the Champions League group stage draw. Unless you guys want to talk about the awards.
I mean, I want to bring something up. Obviously, Jorginho won Player of the Year, and there's been so much backlash. Obviously, as an Italy fan, as someone who likes him as a player, I'm completely okay with it. He doesn't have, the goals, the assists that we've seen before from like the likes of Lewandowski, Ronaldo, Messi, and Demlo. But at the same time, he is a great player and he's won everything he could have won. It may be except the Premier League. If he had won the Premier League as well, then there would be no discussions. And we got Chelsea fan here as well. So I wanted to get your
He's itching to
thought.
drive on the Jorginho topic, wherever you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So this conversation about Jorginho winning always comes down to because there's a great divide even amongst the Chelsea fans. You know, the respect he gets even after all this, the slander he went through when he first came. And the funny part is, even now, the fan base is still divided. They're like, oh, without Conte, he's nothing. Oh, he doesn't deserve the award. He doesn't deserve to win the best player. Even the Chelsea fans, I woke up this morning, Chelsea groups still to this day, like the respect he gets is not there because unlike, N'Golo Kante who gets the tackles and you see those things, you see the highlights. Jorginho doesn't make the highlight plays, right? He doesn't get the goals or the assists because that's not his role. His role is to control the flow of the game. With if you can respect players like Busquets, Michael Carrick, or the all-time greats, these guys, and you can respect Jorginho right now, just because he does the same role. All of a sudden, you guys forget that football isn't just goals and assists. It just isn't the saves. You know, but I can go on and on about the lack of respect Jorginho gets, not just from non-Chelsea and Italy fans, but also from our fans itself. Like,
Yeah.
they support. He plays for the team you support, yet he still doesn't get the respect. It's just it will at the end of the day, it comes down to people who only check the score app, like to check who scored, and they don't know what actually went on during the game. But,
Yeah, players that control tempo like Pirlo, like Busquets, Jorginho, like you have to watch the game to see how good they are. If you don't watch the game, you see their stats.
I think it's a similar conversation to when Modric won the World Cup. Obviously, I'm not comparing peak Modric to Jorginho right now, but I think the conversation we have is similar because when Modric won, the people were like, no, he didn't deserve it. But when you actually watch the game, you can see why he even got to that place. And I think the same goes with Jorginho. I feel like right now, he starts for pretty much any team in the world.
yeah.
Yeah, he's starting for Chelsea, he's won the Champions League, he was start man for Italy as well. So like, yeah, he doesn't get the ball at score from 40 miles out like Ronaldo and Messi did, but at the same time, as I think you just said, he is more than a good player. I think he's world class, and I will
Oh
take
yeah.
Milan. I wouldn't even question it. Get Kessie and say, oh, I don't care. I'll 100%. Okay, when I said maybe he works in any, I think when he comes to Milan, he'll still start. He's not coming to Milan though. But I'm just saying, I think he starts for any team in the world right now, and he deserves it. He won everything there was to win, and he played and he had a vital role in every single
Exactly.
one. So
Yeah, like if you look at the post-match interview he had just after we won the Champions League, what he was saying was, I've gone through a lot of criticism, lots of ups and downs, but I stuck to what I believe in. So he stuck to the football he believes in because he's so good at what he does. Yet despite him being so good at that, he still doesn't get the respect. People still don't realize that this is important in football. Football, the ball doesn't magically appear to the final third. Like there's something that's going on in the midfield. This guy is the link up between defense and attack. Like without him, the football isn't even played. And the conversation always comes down to, oh, Jorginho only plays well when the players around him know exactly what he's doing and the system. But like that's just an argument of, yes, football system, like coach, whatever the system the coach employs, only works well with time. Like we see it with Klopp. We see it with Sarri's system. It's been told. It takes 3 years. The
And
third
it's
season at
it's a
Napoli
team
is
game.
when
You need a good team for it to work anyway.
exactly the chemistry builds with time, and it's as if people don't understand what football is in general. Like you can't just slap a team together and expect them to win. It's about chemistry. It's about players. Sacrificing a bits of their game to listen to the coach, and then build that bond and eventually winning trophies, and that's what it is. And
I think
Jorginho is a type of player who benefits off of the fact that the team has built that chemistry around him, and when that
That's
chemistry is built, he looks even better. But then how is that an argument to make about his credibility, about his credentials? People are going to be like, oh, but then he brings nothing to the table, like, come on, just watch the guy play.
No, he said specifically that after that Champions League final that I see players like Messi, I see players like Ronaldo, and I know that I'm not as good as them.
Exactly.
Like I already know that, and
Exactly.
he already knows like where he stands. He's not saying I don't deserve it over Messi or Ronaldo.
Exactly. Humble guy
Cruyff
too.
once
So
said
the
playing
hate
football.
is just
Go on. Okay, Cruyff once said playing football is very simple, but playing simple football is the hardest thing out there. And I
Yeah.
think
exactly.
Jorginho does that because when you look at him, you could argue,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just making simple passes. But if you
But he
ever
makes it
played,
look so easy.
yeah, if you ever played football, those passes are not simple. If you ever outdone the
Exactly.
timing, everything, it's not simple. It looks
Not
simple, but doing it, it is not.
exactly. Yeah, when you look at the case of City wanting him, imagine they got him instead of Rodri. What a player he would have been there instead of Rodri. And then, funnily enough, I feel like if he did go there, he would have gotten even more respect being a Pep player, because all of a sudden fans seem to understand the importance of midfielders when they play under Pep Guardiola. Like they'll be like, okay, this guy's really good. But then when he's when Chelsea are struggling to get results, he becomes a scapegoat because you'll have a highlight play of him getting beat for pace, which happens because of the player he is and because of the system we were playing in. He would be exposed because of the system. But now when we are in a system where he has more of that protection and he can play his game more freely, he's looking even better, and that's fine. That doesn't take away from the player he is. But in fact, it just shows that like he's such a good player that he wins trophies, and now he is winning trophies. And now he can use that to back his claim. He was the best player for Italy during the Euros, and he was I'll say one of the best, if not one of he was one of the best players for us. One of the most important for sure,
I think
Well,
one
right
last
beside
thing
N'Golo Kante. Yeah.
one last thing I'd say, and then we can move on, is I think a lot of people once you wanna kept saying, "Oh, football is dying, it's full enough." But if anything, I'll argue the opposite because finally, players who are not flashy, who don't make the highlight, but are still vital to a team, are finally getting some recognition. Finally,
Oh yeah.
that's enough Jorginho talk, guys. There's other players that won awards. And Chelsea kind of did sweep those awards. Edward Mendy won GK of the season. Kante won midfielder of the season. I think Ruben Diaz won the best defender, and Erling Haaland won the best forward. Samir, is there anything you changed to that lineup, or anyone else you think deserved it more than those guys that got it?
I don't know why I would pick Lewandowski, not
Yeah.
Haaland. I don't know what did he do. He didn't win anything, right? And Lewandowski scored more goals than him, so that was kind of weird for me. And
Yeah.
the rest, I don't really mind. Kante was really good. I do kind of feel like he got like overhyped towards the end. Like he had a slow start to the season, from what I feel, right? but as soon as Champions League picked up, he was really good. So and Chelsea won. So yeah, I don't mind that.
I'm not gonna lie,
And
Samir, Haaland was the top scorer
yeah,
of the UCL last season.
no, I know, but then overall, wasn't Lewandowski better? That's what I feel like, right?
Yeah, but I feel like that decision was mainly based on the UCL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
then fine. I was like mostly like thinking overall, the entire year,
Mhm.
Mm.
and the rest is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because this award is based on the season rather than the calendar year. So I feel Haaland might have had a better season. Lewandowski had a better 2020 though, for sure. Which he
Yeah.
got robbed of them canceling the
Ballon d'Or,
Ballon
yeah.
d'Or. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was pretty
true.
harsh. He deserved it by a
Yeah.
mile, not even close.
But I think
I would say Thiago Silva over Ruben Diaz. That's one thing I would change personally.
who would you put?
Yeah, but out of no, for sure I would pick because the top three were Azpilicueta, Rudiger, and Diaz. I would have gone for Azpilicueta easily because of the sheer importance he has. Thiago Silva obviously took us to the next level, but because purely he didn't have as many minutes.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's 36, you can't blame the guy. But obviously by far he is the best defender in our team.
Mhm.
Unluckily, cannot put the minutes in, and he's taught the boys, the younger lads. He's made everyone so much better around him, so much better. And I can obviously tell you, as a Chelsea fan, the guy who actually watches them, everybody has improved tenfold as soon as Thiago Silva has stepped in, because this guy is an unbelievable world class leader of the sport, unbelievable player. The calmness that he has is just unseen of, unheard of. I've never seen somebody this calm in defense. Like, how does this guy look like he's playing with his boys? In a Champions League final, like just walking around with the ball, passing it around wherever he wants. But then obviously he gets injured, he gets off, and Christensen did well. But Azpilicueta, I believe he should have won it over Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz took all the hype. Obviously that PSG tie, he did really well, and obviously just purely improving City as a whole. I feel like that's why he got it. But
As Milan fan just crying on the inside while hearing Thiago Silva praise.
Thiago Silva, man, unbelievable.
Yeah, what could have been if we kept him? But we didn't.
I know what a player he would have been if he, didn't waste his time in France.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's still a great player. That's why, because of the fact I feel like he was out of the spotlight for a lot of people. People forgot, they tend to forget how good he really is, and PSG's tendency of choking in the Champions League. Yeah. Not even down to him, because he's always, even when they lost, he's been like their best player. Even in that final against Bayern, he was literally their best player. He's so good. He's so good.
Right. Anyone you changed though in those picks?
I think at the end, the defender choice, I think at the end of the day came to the fact they just didn't want to give it to old Chelsea players. Probably feel like it was more a political decision, because if old Chelsea players won, I don't know how that would have looked. But I would have, and I feel like there's also a hype element to it, which is why Haaland won it. And if Azpilicueta was to win it, his name is not as flashy as Ruben Diaz. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's like Kante is flashy, Haaland is hype, Jorginho, we just 100%. Have the argument. But when it comes 100%. To Ruben Diaz versus Azpilicueta, most people will be like, I know Ruben Diaz, I don't really know Azpilicueta. And
literally, and that's another.
What it comes down to, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with you, man. Because first of all, to the Brits and to a lot of these people, Azpilicueta is hard to pronounce for some reason, and also he's been so underrated forever. Like Spanish FA has been underrating him, calling up Nacho Fernandez over him for years. I mean, it makes no sense. This guy is literally, he is so good that even rival Premier League pundits, like they're all over him over the years. Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville as examples.
Plus, he doesn't look like your standard defender. Exactly. He's not 6'5" or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. Playing at a right center back role. He's just been so superb. Forever. What a defender he is. But none of my business that he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But I'll take it.
I'm sure he will be crying at home with the UCL trophy over that.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
I want to take a minute to talk about Simon Kjær and the Denmark medical team, because I feel like that's relevant to us. They opened up the the ceremony with that award. And Tyre, I think his first words were like, I'm not a hero at all. Like if anyone else was on the street and I saw that happen to them, I would have done the same thing to them as I would have done to Christian. So you can just see how selfless he is. He says that he doesn't need the armband to become a leader. We have our captain Minoli, and it was just nice to see him get the UEFA Presidential Award for just like it makes you put into perspective like football bigger than.
See, as a human, he is just top level. I wish I could say now, oh, if that happened to me, I would be doing the same thing. I probably wouldn't. I'll be honest, I am not that guy. But just the fact that he's in our team, like that as a human, and he's a great captain. And on top of that, he's freaking amazing at playing. He's having 2 amazing seasons. Like we're just so lucky. And you know, we had the argument whether he should be the captain. He's not, and he's not even the vice captain because Calabria takes the ban when Romanians are playing. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're just lucky to have someone like him in our team, and just someone like him in general in the world. You know what I mean? Like if Kia wasn't there on that pitch that day, who knows what would have happened?
No, I can tell you for sure. Like, you know, like looking at such a situation, I know for sure what I would have done. I would have frozen up. I would have gone to the side, let somebody take over, because like that's just such a high stakes moment. You know, like someone might actually be dying in front of my eyes, and you know, as a leader, you know, the role he has and the role he has taken in such an insane moment is just unbelievable, you know, and it's such a big role model to be looking at for everybody, you know, not just kids, but even as adults. You know, you look at it, there's always things to be learned, you know, and Care, I don't know how to say his name exactly, but
you're close enough.
Unbelievable guy.
Yeah, hats off to him and the medical team. And I think the rest of the Denmark team as well. I think they definitely deserve the nomination as well.
Some of the, I think, was it the Finland fans too? Like
who gave
them a flag to cover it up.
Yeah.
Obviously, the stupid journal, the TV people are trying to film it and make a film out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this shit? You know? Cut that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they'll be filming, but it's down to the broadcast. I feel like it was just the British channels that were broadcasting it.
Yeah, I was watching the game and they would not stop. They tried to get every single angle.
They wouldn't stop it. It was just so stupid.
Like while she was crying, trying to hone in on her.
And like zooming into the wife crying. It was just
trying to make some Hollywood out of this. Like, I just don't get it. And then you have obviously the Danish broadcast that cut to the helicopter feed immediately. They're like, we're not showing this stuff. Let them sort it out. Hopefully he's alive, and you know.
Samir, you want to talk about Care, or I feel like we've already gone the road?
Yeah, we had a podcast right after this happened. We just love him, you know.
Yeah.
Everything I had to say, like.
I feel like once you save someone's life, there's only so much you can say, and it still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah,
exactly. Facts. And I'm just so lucky to have him. You know, he's an amazing leader, amazing person, and an amazing player. You know, like he's so good. Like I remember once we bought him, we were like, "Who the hell is this guy? 31-year-old."
He's proved all of us wrong. He just
Atalanta can't even start for Atalanta. Like, who is he? And then he just nothing but up from there.
Yeah,
you know?
We can't say a single word on that anymore.
Yeah.
But should we move on to the UCL draws?
For sure.
Yeah, baby.
Let's start with Chelsea, since we have a
huge
Chelsea fan. So Chelsea is in Group H with Juventus, Zenit, and Malmo. And obviously Juventus doesn't have Ronaldo anymore, which we'll get into later. But how are you feeling about that group?
I mean, as every year we get pretty easy draws, and it's looking the same. So I don't know. Juventus
can't relate.
Looking very toothless. Oh yeah, I don't even want to get into Milan's group yet. Chelsea's group, like we usually get pretty easy draws. Yeah, Zenit, Malmo shouldn't be too tough, and at least I will say 6 points from Malmo, at least 4 points for Zenit, and Juventus. I don't know. Anything can happen. Obviously, still a big team per se, but looking toothless without Ronaldo though. So we'll see. We'll see what they. And they hardly made any money from him, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
Are you confident you'll get through? I mean, it's a pretty question to ask.
Pretty confident we can be group winners, you know.
Yeah. And with the team you guys have, it's
Yeah.
with Lukaku as well. Like,
Yeah, and Lukaku, he knows that team inside out. He knows that team inside out, man.
Yeah, I'm just jealous, honestly, at this point.
No, Farzad, you're gonna have me, Red, and Samir rapping our Chelsea kits for both those games.
For sure, man, for sure. I'll have my Milan kit, you know. It doesn't fit me, but I'll put it around my neck.
Just give us Baka and DS, we're good.
You got Bakayoko, man. That is done. 15 million. I think it's gonna be a must buy option or some shit. I think they're changing it to that.
Yeah.
Quick option with a loan with option with for Ziyech as well. Yeah. No?
The obligation to buy or whatever the words are.
Yeah, so if you can send Ziyech over with Bakayoko, you know, we'd greatly appreciate that.
I don't know about Hakim Ziyech. I don't know about that. We don't win the Champions League without him.
He is a class player. Shall we do Milan's group and then just overview of the other groups, because I think there's quite interesting ones as well. So Group B, I think it's safe to say it is the group of death.
Yes.
Atletico, Liverpool, Porto, Milan.
Unbelievable group. I woke up, I see this, I'm like, no way, that has to be some mock up, like, no way this group happened, and I'm like, wow, it was a great return for Milan. A great straight into the mix. As if you're playing knockout games, like.
I
mean, you know what? Honestly, no matter what happens, I feel like you guys will have a lot of fun, and every game will be a lot of fun. Because it's a long wait. It's a long wait. It's a huge portion of a lot of our lives, almost 33%, I would say. A third of your life.
No need to remind us.
No need to remind me. Okay.
But I mean,
thoughts on each matchup, like.
I mean, part of me is like we finishing with like 1 point, maybe a draw against Porto. But
here I will tell you this straight up. Last year, our Champions League run, Porto were by far the best team we faced.
They knocked out Juventus as well. So I'm like,
bro, they were better. They were way better than Atletico and Real Madrid. Way better. We watched the games, man. They suffocated us. The thing is, they're not flashy. They don't have the flashy.
But it's a very good team.
This Corona, but the way they work, the way they press as a team is just unbelievable. And I was shook. The entire tie. We only won 2-1. They scored a last-minute goal. So
what a goal as well.
Not that bad. And what a goal it was. It was goal of the season, Taremi.
Yeah, Taremi.
But I feel like AC Milan have the work cut out. Bakayoko will be very necessary for that midfield battle. Kessie will be huge. I feel like he will be vital for any points you get from Porto, because that team works hard. That team works very hard. Liverpool, Atletico, I feel like it's your best bet. They're not the Atletico that we have known of, in the past decades.
Yeah.
It's I would say, not the same Atletico at all. So go for it. Milan can be fearless. One more attacking signing away, I feel. One more attacking signing,
I mean, I'm pretty sure Porto won the league in Portugal, didn't they?
I think
they
so.
did. Porto won. Atletico Madrid won the La Liga as well. And then
they did win. They did win.
So we did kind of get shafted. I can't lie.
Regardless, you're playing the champions.
But,
I feel like you Champions League though, like you can be fearless. Anything can happen. That's the beauty of it.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like I'd rather come fourth or third in a group like this than come last in a group like Group C, where it's Sporting, Dortmund,
Naim, for sure.
I'd rather play the big games, be like, you know what, we gave it a go. See, maybe we got a few points, but
you guys have nothing to lose.
Literally,
just go for it.
Yeah, what are predictions then, guys?
Honestly, I see Milan going through, man. I see Milan going through. Because of the story, purely, like the heart the players should have now because of the return. I don't think anything but going through, crashing out. Yes, I mean, you can go out with the heads held up high depending on the performances. But performances will define how you feel at the end of the day, no matter what.
I think Milan and Liverpool might be the top two. That's my pick.
And then Atletico third,
Liverpool and Atletico might drop down, and Porto.
But it's tough. It's
Yeah.
All 4 teams are so good. It's an insane group. And then you have group like, no offense to them, but Group C, like Borussia
No
Dortmund.
casual is gonna be watching Group C. Let's just
How
say
is
that.
sports?
Group G. Check out Group G. That's
Look at-
the casualist one.
Oh, that's like the most casual
Yeah,
group.
Group
Like,
G
how
seems
did
like a
that?
Europa League group as well.
How did that
It is a
even
really
end
good.
up happening? And then you have group, like if they did half of each, they split it up, it would be much more fair. But
Yeah.
what
But
what
see, I'm usually the negative one, but I feel like we will make it through.
a
I feel like Liverpool and Milan will go through. I feel
what do you have to
we'll
say, Naim? You look
we'll
like you're
like
shaking, man.
shit
You're
house
shaking.
a goal difference or something and go through something like that.
This guy's shaking looking at that group.
No, no. Listen, I saw guys. Here's a break. I saw Milan's group, right? I was so happy, and then I saw the options. It was Group A with Paris and City, and then the Group B with Liverpool and Atletico. I'm like, okay, we're fucked either way. Let's just
At least
try to
it's
get.
not Group A. Let's look at the bright side. At least it's not Group A.
Group A is quite the group. Holy.
Yeah.
I mean, now Ronaldo's not going there anymore, so there's no
That would have been
Ronaldo
a
versus
story.
Messi.
Yeah.
But Man United, yeah, they play Villarreal, get some revenge there.
Samir, what do you think about our group of death?
My pessimistic side says we're finishing 4th, like winning 0. And my optimistic side says Zlatan's gonna break Van Dijk again,
Zlatan's gonna break full stop.
Yeah, he's gonna
Like
do
he
his
always
last
is.
season, he's gonna go all in.
That guy he's on his last
Dude.
little.
Yeah, it's
I
just
really feel we
Giroud
can-
and Inshallah at this point.
True, not Giroud. He will do damage.
Can you tell us
Yeah.
about how well Giroud did against Liverpool the times he played against you? Against
Oh.
And how well he did last season in the UCL as well, because I feel like
Yeah,
he doesn't get
of
credit.
course, of
Yeah.
course. He doesn't get credit, This guy isn't the fastest guy, so. But then technically, I will say his shooting technique is just unbelievable. Unbelievable technique he has, the control he has, and also a lot like, Lukaku didn't actually have that before. It was only at Inter where he developed this, hold-up game under Antonio Conte, but Giroud's had it forever. You can ping a ball and this guy will bring it out of the sky against any defender in the world and, give him a match throughout the entire game. Just the thing is he will get tired. He'll get a tire around the 60, 70-minute mark. You might need to sub him off. But when he gets subbed on, he's unbelievable. And when he starts these big games, he's usually extremely reliable. He'll have his, 1 or 2 misses every 5 games. And any striker has that. Even the best strikers have a lot of misses. But what he provides purely from his hold up and his build up, passing is phenomenal. He'll find the perfect pass every time. He's just a very smart player. He's a very smart player. And you'll see anytime he plays, he brings the best out of his wingers. His pacey wingers will run off him. He's just that type of player. Just the thing is he's reached a point where, the minutes aren't, there. He will get hurt. He will need to get subbed on. But then that comes down to good coaching, how they utilize the players. And he will for sure be hugely beneficial. And especially, we're not even talking about the fee you guys paid, which was a joke. Not even a fee at all. Might as well give us peanuts.
Yeah.
1 mil. So regardless of what it is, it's a low risk transfer, and he will bring a lot. And especially these big teams, he will. As I said before, I know Naim. I said it before to Naim. Van Dijk, gets a match anytime he plays Giroud. Like all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, I have an aerial match against this guy. Like he will make Van Dijk look silly a lot of times. Like that's how good this guy is in the air. It's a joke how good he is. Absolute joke.
So fun fact about Giroud, actually, in the last game, he was the 4th highest. He ran the most out of all the Milan players. Wow. And then you see Rafael Leao's fans saying, "Oh, Leao doesn't have to run. He runs when he wants." That's what I've seen from his fans. And then you see a man like Giroud, but it's 34. He has a 4th highest distance cover in a game. And then Leao's fans are saying a striker doesn't have to run. Just doesn't make.
Let's not even get into that. This is a Giroud who's just joined a new team, and a Giroud, this guy is one of the most professional guys I have ever seen at Chelsea. Despite the treatment he got at a certain point, first half of that Lampard season where he was literally just out of the squad, nowhere to be seen, never on the bench. And then all of a sudden, Tammy Abraham gets injured because he was playing through an injury. His goal started going away because of the injury, and then he was too injured to play. And now all of a sudden, Michy Batshuayi is the only other option, apparently. But then we had Giroud in the reserves, haven't touched him at all. We bring him out in January. This guy gets like 6 goals in 8 games, catapults us in the top 4.
Dropped
Vital
to
to
the
our season. Without
UCL.
him, we don't even get the Champions League last season without him.
Yeah.
Without him, like in that second half of the season, because the goals were dwindling. Like we didn't know where they were going to come from. There was no inspiration all of a sudden. But then this guy comes in from the reserves after 6 months, being frozen out of the team. Model professional, no complaints. Just does his thing, plays his game, gets his goals. And this is what you expect. This is what you expect from a top professional. This guy, even after all that, he does the running. He does as much running as he can at whatever pace he can. Like it's just how do you get that from everyone? You
Yeah.
don't.
And
And
I
then when you
think
get it from
that's
someone,
why
you
he's
give him the appreciation he
yeah.
deserves.
And I think that's why he's the best fit for Milan, because we all know
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to striker force, when you have someone like Zlatan in your team, you always be in the shadow. Even if
Oh, yeah.
Zlatan doesn't play, just because of who he is, whoever you
Purely
are,
who
you
he is.
always be in the shadow. But
Yeah.
Giroud, as you said, he doesn't care. He seems like he's more than okay knowing, yeah, I'm number 2. But when he plays,
Completely.
he delivers. Like there's no
Exactly.
complaints. Like we are just so lucky to have Ibrahimovic and Giroud both up top. As long as one of them is fit for the whole season, and we have either
We're good.
or, then we're sorted, because we know the goals will come. We know they're both goal scorers. They're both mature. They're both experienced. They both know how to play well. Like we know they will be consistent and perform. So we're just lucky to have them both.
Yeah, like some people will be like, "Oh, it's expected of these professional football players to be, model, professionals when it comes to, lack of game time and whatever, not complaining." But then you have players like Alvaro Morata. This guy gets benched, throws a fit, stops playing well, gets into his head. Like you have players like that too. The guy cost us so much, yet he was a pure flop because of what it was. It was his lack of mental strength. Like it was the lack of he stops trying when things go bad, and you can't have that. You're not winning trophies with a guy who's your leading striker and he has that type of mentality. You need players like Giroud. You need players like, because Giroud, as you said, is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. No matter what, this guy goes down as the all-time greats. Top 5 strikers of all time for me. Like unbelievable player. And to be in his squad, regardless how many minutes he gets, just that role Giroud has to accept, he will accept it, because that's just who he is. And you guys will see the benefits of that. Hopefully Milan can, have a good run in for the league. Now that Juventus is weekend 2, winter weekend, this is it. Serie A is all yours, man.
On that Morata note, actually,
we've
had a bit of the similar case on Rid can probably relate with Krista Piontek and Patrick Cutrone. So those two, Patrick Cutrone specifically said, they're driving me out of the team because they prefer foreigners to Italians. Those were his words. And Piontek, he didn't want to fight for.
I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that.
Yeah, and it's just we see that mentality in strikers, and then Giroud is the complete opposite. He's like, I want to play with Giroud. We make each other better. It's just. Do you want to talk about the change in that mentality from when Gianpaolo was the manager, Rid?
Yeah, I mean, I think when Gianpaolo was the manager, we can all agree it was a disaster. There's no positives out of it. The guy was playing, trying to log with the CDM, Borinias and Mezzala. The guy didn't know what he was doing. Like, on paper, he had a system, and then when we started playing, we looked lost, and he was playing players out of position. I like, just thinking back now just makes me want to cry, and I can't believe I was like, you know what? This guy, you know what? I remember we played against Manchester United. I went to watch the game in Cardiff, and we played all right. And I was like, and we played all right. And I looked at the highlights. We did probably like 3-1-2s. And I was like, you know what? This guy is it. Because up to that point, we were playing terrorism ball and they got twos. Like we had 10 men behind the ball, get the ball, and then counter. And then we saw a 1-2 the first game. We're like, you know what? This guy is it. And then 4 games in, we're in relegation zone. So yeah, sorry, I just went on Gianpaolo mad on that. Sorry, but I think it's so good to have players that know their role in the team. Like Giroud knows he's not gonna play every single game. But I feel like every other player even the likes of Castillejo, who we always shit on, because let's be honest, he is not good. But I feel like he adds something to the team. For once, it feels like we have a solid block of players together working towards one goal. If you look back to 2018 when we had Higuain, the guy was throwing fits weekly, and then he just left, went to Chelsea because he just didn't want to be here. And then we had Cutrone, as you said. He said they're kicking me out because I'm Italian, but in reality, mate, you were trash. That's why we're kicking you out, and we got 25 millions out of you. Which, if you look back, if you look at it now, that was a bank robbery for Maldini. I don't know what he did, but we take it. And when we look at Piontek, I remember when he left, he was like, "Oh, Milan has a culture of just replacing strikers every year." Yeah, mate, because every single one we had since 2012 has been terrible. That's why we're replacing them. So I think it's finally so good to have players who have the right mentality, knowing this is my place in the team. But at the same time, I want to prove myself that, you know what, I am better than the player who's above me in the rankings right now. With all due respect to them, I want to prove it wrong. Like, if you look at the likes of Florenzi and Calabria, you can argue they're both equally likely to be the starter. I think Florenzi was playing starter as a PSG last season. And if he plays starter, I wouldn't be against it. But I know for a fact Florenzi is a very professional player, and I know if he doesn't play for 10 games in a row, he's not going to be like, oh, they're not picking me because Calabria he's better looking than me or some shit like that. But that's why I think we're finally getting somewhere. You know, and it's so good to see players that are good on the pitch, but also know their role and know that, you know what, I'm not gonna play every single game. I'm not gonna be good in every single game, but the next game is a chance for me to prove it. If we look at Krund, for example, as well, we can agree again, he's not the best player, but not every time he's played, but a lot of the games he's played in, he's played more than okay. Last game we played, he was playing CDM, which is not his role, but he put on a shift and he played well. I can't remember who he was against, but he scored a free kick as well.
Hellas Verona.
He scored a free kick, and then Dalot scored as well, and I remember that. So I think even when we looked at last season, like, we have players who probably know they're not going to be, because I said they're not starters, but they still play, and whenever they play, they do deliver. Except Castillejo, but you know.
For sure, that's a good breakdown of how the attitude of Milan has changed, especially with Hakan leaving. He was starting a whole fight against.
I am so glad he's gone. Jesus Christ! It makes me every day I wake up and I'm like, terrible day. Then I remember, you know what? He's not Milan playing anymore. So I'm like, you know what? It's not too bad.
Yeah, you heard Instagram post where one of these people talk too much.
Yeah, honestly, I don't. Honestly, he could win the Ballon d'Or next year with Inter, and I still wouldn't regret him. I still wouldn't care.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk a bit about Group C? We got here Sporting, Dortmund, Ajax, and Samir. What are your thoughts?
Which group?
Group C.
Group C.
Yeah, Group C.
Groups is looking good, man. I would say Dortmund and Ajax goes through.
Good prediction there. I would say that too.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, yes. But I see Besiktas with Michy Batshuayi making noise. I'm joking. But we'll see, man. Chelsea loanies everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. We were linked to Livramento, if you recall.
Bro, that kid is I'm telling you, man. I'm not even starting there. That kid is fucking amazing, man. Already killing it for some.
You sold him though, right? Or is he just?
Yeah, we sold him with the buyback option for like 20 mil, I think, 25 mil. Yeah, Southampton now.
I think
these kids need the minutes, so it's better to just
loan them out.
Play them, first minute.
Yeah, just a quick props to how good Chelsea's academy is.
Oh yeah,
there's every player is good player every year.
Yeah, it's a long-term project that Chelsea have been, working on ever since Roman came into the team. We tasted that first bit of success, and it was around that time, the 06-07 time, I believe. The academy, the funding went in, and then now we're seeing the fruits of, all that, all that work.
Yeah, can't relate. Our players get promoted and get sold to Series Z players, and we'll never see them again.
Mm.
We're reaping the rewards of Chelsea's academy too. If the Coyotes here, we already know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Tamori, man, scouted from Canada. This guy came from Calgary, I believe, or some place. I don't even know.
What are
Yeah,
thoughts?
I will. Yeah.
What are thoughts on?
bring that
Okay, go
to
on. Let's end
PSG.
that discussion and move on. Okay, what's our thoughts on Group A? I think that's the one
first-
that, as a casual, you probably look at that and be like, that's a pretty good group, which still is, but as I said, I don't think it's a group of death. But
No,
Man
no.
City against Paris Saint-Germain, that's a game I think everyone's gonna tune in
Group
for.
B is by far group of death. It's not
Yeah.
even close. It's not even close.
I feel like for Group A, it's gonna be like the same way they shown it. Man City is gonna be first, PSG second, Leipzig third. It's like that actually,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I see it too.
I think Man City Paris
Unless
could eat
unless
the change,
Leipzig can do some damage with that Hungarian dude. I don't know how to say his name, Solo Bazi or whatever.
sausages or something. Yeah.
Sausage, Soblazi, I don't know.
I feel as long as Pep doesn't overthink it and play fucking Gabriel Jesus in goal, we'll be fine.
He's usually sound in the group stages, and then when it gets to the
knockout, something just pops on his head.
Yeah, it's just ever since Messi hasn't been his player, he's just useless. But no, I mean,
Group D, Inter, which is the same as last year, except there's no.
Yeah, no Mönchengladbach. Yeah, that Moldovan team is in,
which is quite weird, but yeah, that's the first Moldovan team making.
No, credit to them. Yeah, it's history. Yeah. So your Moldovan viewers, congrats to you guys.
They beat Dinamo Zagreb on the way there, which is not a.
Yeah, that's not an easy task. That's Zagreb's usually a shoe-in for the Champions League, but they didn't make it. Wow, Inter, Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk again.
It might end the same. Samir, as you're
saying, I think it's gonna be the same. I think it's gonna be Inter first, Real first, second. Sorry.
Yeah, Shakhtar did make noise though. They
did. I mean, Inter came last season in their group, so that's all I'm gonna say.
I think Shakhtar improved since last season. The coach is better.
Maybe
I don't keep up.
Deserby, So that's an improvement for sure. Group E guys, I'm saying Bayern and Barcelona go through.
Yeah, Bayern Barcelona. Exact order again has
wonderful.
They've just done all of them for us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Milan last sounds reasonable.
Sounds all right.
Group F. I think Group F is a good group as well.
Actually, if United bottle this again, just delete your club.
Ronaldo.
I feel like Manchester United, Villarreal, and Atalanta are all teams that could easily make it through. But obviously, there's only 2 spots, so I feel like that's a very good group to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, like Atalanta had a great run last year, deep in.
Yeah,
they could have. Yeah, they almost won. Like even I think the previous year.
Yeah, 2 years back, they won the semifinals.
Hardly lost to PSG. Yeah, they hardly lost. It was so tough.
Yeah. I feel like the group after gonna end Man United, Atalanta, Villarreal, and then Young Boys. Villarreal, they love Europa, so I mean.
Oh yeah, they'll go back. They'll be like, yeah, we'll take that, man. We'll take that. Back to Europa.
Yeah, top 2 at Manchester and Atalanta, I would say.
Oh, that's actually funny how like out of each, the third place is gonna go to Europa, so that's another whole story altogether. It's just one of them might even win it. One of these. I feel like the Group B third place will win the Europa League. Whoever's third place in that.
Third place, maybe
like
win Europa.
Milan could even win it if you guys end up there.
All right, guys. The last group that we already covered, the Chelsea group.
Group G.
Group G is a tough one.
Group G.
Is that's in Europa League group? That's what I'm gonna say.
It's a Europa League group. I would say Sevilla tops it.
Yeah.
And then Lille. That's it, really. I mean, I just don't see anybody else. Yeah, Lille has. Lille are better. They're better right now. Yeah. French champions, we gotta respect them. Better than PSG.
For now,
but guys, I feel like Lille didn't sell their coach. The coach left. They sold half of the team.
They sold the best player, Mainan, as well.
Yeah, it's like
True,
so maybe Salzburg might be second.
Yeah.
But Salzburg also lost their best player. Salabazi
that's
or
true.
whatever.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
Szoboszlai. Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Szoboszlai or
I always get
whatever.
confused between Salzburg and Leipzig. I'm not gonna lie.
Two, two sister.
Yeah,
Guys,
he went to the other Red Bull
yeah,
team.
The other one, yeah.
yeah. Guys, I feel like Group H is gonna end the same way, the way they're showing it. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
sounds
Yeah,
reasonable
you're right.
to me. Yeah, Chelsea first. Yeah, and
I
also,
mean, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
So they,
predicting we're gonna win it all, so we'll see.
to be fair, yeah, I was gonna ask. I feel like Chelsea has a good chance of winning it again. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah, I just don't like. I'm not afraid after what I saw last year. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
I
that
mean,
gives me a confidence,
I
but
think your main competition for the Man City and Paris. Paris has
yeah,
a history of bottling it,
yeah,
and
and both of them do.
Guardiola has a history of just going mad
I
after the
was
group stages.
as soon as Naim will tell you, as soon as we drew Real Madrid, for the semifinals. I said it. Whoever wins the semifinal is gonna win it all because it's two
Yeah.
bottlers on the other semifinal. They're not gonna win, man. I'm not afraid of them. Like I'll be afraid of. I'm really afraid of City in England. Oh man, they're scary. But in Europe, no fear.
Yeah.
No fear.
But guys, City is going without a striker, like a proper striker.
Yeah.
Like
Well, they
that's
have Gabriel
Respect Gabriel Jesus.
What are
Respect
you
Gabriel
talking about, man?
Jesus. Respect
Respect my
him.
guy.
he,
Man gets no
he's a backup.
credit.
Well, but
He has
the
a
funny part is, even without a striker, they're playing at right wing.
Yeah, even with, literally.
But
He's
he's,
like he's a
the,
he's a
backup.
very versatile player, you know. And
man's a
credit to
backup
him.
striker
That's it.
in a team with no striker.
Find the back
Yeah,
of the striker. Yeah.
it's just sad, but also he's at the end of the day, give him credit. He's a versatile player, and
Yeah.
City have a lot of players.
He's not your stereotypical striker, 6'2", big.
Yeah, he's a silky guy.
Yeah, he's more of a layout, but good.
Yeah, he's flashy, and he actually has a good finish in him. You know, at
Yeah.
times he's very composed, especially against Liverpool. He loves playing against them. I'll say that. I don't know. It's just tough. I feel like he can. This is his season. He can take that role for himself now that Ronaldo's out of the story.
Pep is still gonna play KDB up top, to be fair.
Oh yeah, and it was pretty nice. Since we're talking about the Champions League draw, they had Essien and Ivanovic up
Essien and
for
Ivanovic.
that,
Yeah.
so that was great.
Essien, our
whole
Banta
trophy,
aeroplane.
Essien Banter legend.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was long dead Essien that you guys.
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
The man's knees were long gone. I will tell you that. It
His
gone
head
before
was
we
gone
sold
as
him.
well. His head was gone as well.
It was.
When
He
I
was
think
gone.
of-
He was running.
When I
around
think of
like that.
Essien, I think Naim and Samir. I remember the red card he gets, and then he looks so short. That's that's the
that
one
was a
thing.
meme.
Yeah, it became a
Yeah.
meme. That's the one thing I think of when I hear
Yeah, it's
Essien.
tough. Some players have sad ending to their careers
Yeah.
because their bodies just give up.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, even R9, right? Like,
I mean,
unless you talk about Cristiano, right?
I think
I
that.
I mean,
that's-
I don't know what he's doing going back
I
to
think
United,
that
but-
goes well with our final topic, which is we just got announced like an hour ago. CR7
Yeah.
back in Manu. What's our thoughts on that? For like what, 29 million? 28 million?
I heard
it's
it's.
cheaper. I think it's like
It's
14
14
mil
million
plus
with
8 mil.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
14 plus 8.
Yeah, we
So
paid
22.
we paid Bertolacci more than that.
Could they challenge for every trophy? I think the answer is in unison. We're all gonna say one thing, and that's just no. They can't
Ole.
challenge for every trophy. To answer that question,
No.
they're already celebrating their trophies prematurely, and I think Farzad already knows about the United fans and how they all.
I think they have a
Wow.
good chance in challenging for the Premier League because
chance.
they did that
Guys.
last year. The team's gotten
Guys,
better.
before we get into that, I have a stat. The lowest valued squad in the Champions League is that Moldovan team. The entire squad is worth 12.9 million euros.
Wow.
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 Whereas the most expensive and the top three are
PSG,
City,
is it?
PSG, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
City at 1.06 billion euros. And then PSG
Jesus.
993 mil and Chelsea 915 mil.
Zero
Wow.
UCLs in the top two, by the way.
Yeah, zero
Yeah,
UCLs
zero UCLs in the top two.
Group A.
That's actually funny.
Yeah, but I think I'm okay. I'll just ask a question. I just want everyone to say yes or no. Is Ronaldo finished?
I
Yes
don't
or
think
no?
I will go last.
I don't think it's finished. That's all I have to say.
I don't think it's finished, especially knowing who Ronaldo is as an individual. I think coming back to United will bring out a new fire in him, you know, an old old fire will come back, and I think we will see an even more evolved Ronaldo because of purely the squad he's going to be around now. The guy was wasting his time at that absolutely garbage Juventus squad. Like, I will say he actually might have gotten better support in Milan, even with despite how toothless you guys look sometimes, but with that midfield, even like purely using your midfield, he would look much better than he did at Juventus, even though he was their standout best player. I will say, yeah, like much better support now. Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba.
Fantastic
They
support.
still don't have that. Yeah, obviously Marcus Rashford and all that. They still don't have that holding midfielder they would like, but we will see. We will see how that team does with him now in the squad. They can finally bench Anthony Martial. So, um, yeah, I think Ronaldo is not finished. I don't think he's finished. And I know that if I say he's finished, it will bite me in the ass. We can
Yeah,
use this clip for
100%.
the rest of the season. And I know Naim will definitely send this to Juster if I say he's finished.
Hey, if you're gonna butcher that, it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts. You can use any source to use this.
Anybody can see this. But no, for sure he's not finished.
Yeah,
Cristiano Ronaldo will never be finished till he retires. So
yeah. I
he's one of
think,
the greatest.
I mean,
He's the second greatest for me.
yeah.
So
I mean, I'll put my hand. I was the first one to make fun of him at Juventus, just because
oh no, for sure.
it's Juventus, and that's
It's
what I'm
easy
gonna
to make
do.
fun of him when he's playing around that stupid team
Yeah,
and they actually
but
failed to win the league.
yeah, but the
So
achievement he's gone there, he's got like 30 goals every season. That in itself is
exactly.
good. Obviously, you can make the argument he didn't win top goal scorer, which is a separate
Yeah.
argument, which isn't
Oh
down to
yeah.
the team. But
Mhm.
he's not finished, clearly.
Not
He's still
finished.
scoring.
I
And
Scoring that
think I
many goals.
disagree. I think he failed.
I mean, he did.
Easy.
He
He failed what
did.
he wanted to
He
do.
did. He did.
He
He
failed.
went.
Yeah.
He did, but
He
it
went to
was.
a
I don't
team.
think it was
Yeah.
completely up to him.
Yeah.
But
I think
the thing is,
everybody
You
failed.
couldn't expect 35-year-old Ronaldo to score
Yeah,
a hat trick
this
every
this is
single
what I will say
UCL
for sure,
game.
Samir. Based on I agree with you in the part that the expectations that Ronaldo definitely set for himself, he did fail. Whatever expectation
yeah,
he had going into Italy before he definitely expected much more. Like
yeah.
whatever they achieved in
And
that
everyone
time
did as well.
has been a failure as a team, but as an individual, I'll say he gave us all. He did what he could, and it's not particularly down to him, but his stint as a whole, and I would say even in Ronaldo's eyes, probably was a failure. Yes, I agree because again, like he's leaving Madrid. Look at the context, right? He's won it all in Madrid. He puts
Top
it
of the
behind. He
world.
says he wants a new challenge. But then obviously for him, a new challenge would mean winning the Champions League, like at least, and not conceding a league title when your team has been winning what, 8 in a row.
Yeah.
All of a sudden to lose that is huge, to
Yeah.
be the guy who was, like he wouldn't want to be part of the team that finally lost it. It's a huge insult to his legacy, It's like wow, people can use that argument now. Wow, like a team that was literally walking the league every year. You come in and all of a sudden, yeah, you guys win one year, but then you guys lose the next.
Yeah.
How do you allow that to happen? Especially on your second season, once you've had a feel of the squad, like why does the team not grow enough? But then again, that is purely down to the Juve board, I will say. Horrible management, horrible decisions they made and the acquisitions he had, even the coaches themselves, Pirlo. Like what kind of a joke is that? Why do you want to waste Ronaldo's time, giving Andrea Pirlo the job? It was a complete disaster.
I
So
think
yes, Samir, partially I agree. It was a failure. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it just comes to wrong timing for both Juventus and Ronaldo, because Juventus
Oh, yeah.
had to build a proper team, not just spend all the money getting around 100 million plus 30 million every year to him just for that
Yeah,
one player.
it's
Where
ridiculous.
you're playing Bentancur as your starting midfielder. So, but I think going back to Man United will be good for him. I don't think we can
Let's see.
expect him the
My thing
same.
was,
Go on, Samir.
yeah, I did go on. So I'm sorry. Yeah, go on.
No, I've said I don't think we can expect the same level that he was delivering at Man United first time or at Real Madrid because of his age. But I still think it's going to be, and I'm honestly really excited just to see him go somewhere else, have a good team around him, and see what he can do. Because say what you want, because I personally prefer Messi, you know, with the debate or whatever, but I can't say, nah, he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player. There's not going to be another one like him ever.
Yeah.
Despite what's going on, what went on the past 2 years, where obviously it hasn't been his best, but I think it's going to be good for him. And it's going to be good for the Premier League in general, as much as I hate to say the Premier League is getting better, because I'm a Serie A fan. I think that's better. We got 2 questions. We can quickly go through them.
Two questions, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Samir,
make it a
what?
minute. What are the 2 questions?
I think the first one
of
was
them
yeah, go on. Go on, sorry.
Wait,
I got
it's
the
a question from Rafil.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, you go on.
I'll read. Okay, would this Man United squad, as it is right now, could challenge and win every trophy possible? I think we kind of covered that,
We
but
already answered that
yeah.
question.
So
Yeah.
it just knows from all of us, isn't it?
What's the other
Yeah.
question?
It's from our Twitter 1 second.
Oh, the Man United question?
Oh yeah, we already answered
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Is there any more?
Yeah, no, nah.
No, that's it.
Especially with Ole as a manager, nope. I don't think they have, you know, what it takes to win multiple trophies, even one trophy. But they're getting there for sure. They're getting there. It'll take some time. But
Right.
yeah,
And
definitely.
our second
Milan?
question is from Madhava. He said, first, I think it's for you.
Okay.
With such attacking depth, you know, from the likes of Mount, Pulisic, Diaz, and etc., you think Tuchel will be able to keep them happy with
Oh, for
playing
sure,
time?
man. For sure, man. For sure. It's a demanding system that we play. Lots of rotation needed. Players get hurt, and I feel like our team camaraderie is at its peak. Like I've never seen such chemistry since. We had the likes of Lampard, Drogba, you know, that old era, Terry Cole, you know, like the friendships we had then. It's as if we're starting to see all that again amongst these kids. You know, Lukaku. It's so funny now. It's like Lukaku's coming back, and he's taking that Drogba role, and he's coaching the kids, you know, like laughing around the way Drogba would do it with them, and Sturridge and Kalu and, you know, those guys. It's just amazing to see. So yeah, I think the team will be happy. You know, everybody has their role. Pulisic didn't play much, but yet he still had a goal against Real Madrid, an assist against Real Madrid. Mount had a goal in the quarterfinal, he had an assist in the final, a goal in the semifinal. You know, everybody's involved in some way, even if it isn't direct goal involvements, and even if it isn't, you know, the most playing time. They still play enough, and you know, I feel like the players will be happy.
Yeah, on that note, I think should wrap this episode up on the Champions League. It's a good episode. A lot of discussion points there, and thanks for coming on the podcast, Faris. It's good to have
Of course,
you.
man, it was a great conversation. You know, I'm excited for the season.
Yeah. Good luck to Chelsea. And the
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'd love to have you back and do another one, like maybe like at
For
the
sure,
end,
man.
just see and
Yeah.
just react as us, just flopping
For
every
sure.
single
Yeah.
opinion we said.
For sure, that'd be fun. That'd be fun, man.
Yeah, ends
You know,
up
you
with
guys-
that was it that team,
It was
Sheriff winning the UCL probably at this point.
we shat on them, you know. They're gonna be like, you guys don't know us, but we'll play football.
Yeah,
We'll see.
very
We'll see
good
how it goes.
episode.
Yeah, Samir, do you want to say bye to us or bye to the listeners?
I would like to say, yeah, nothing, man. I'm just happy we're back. You know, we're winning the whole thing. Oh, damn. Zlatan's last season, you know. Last dance, baby. Let's go.
Castillejo turns into prime Messi.
Let's go. It's all happening, man.
It's gonna be great, man. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Excited for it.
I love that guy, man.
All right, good
Guys,
stuff.
thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, guys, take care.
Take care.